On the map of the world, there is a narrow stretch of water that quietly controls a huge part of the global economy. This place is known as the Strait of Hormuz. Located between Iran and Oman, this narrow sea passage connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and the open Arabian Sea. Every single day, massive oil tankers travel through this waterway, carrying energy supplies to countries across the globe. Because of its unique location, the Strait of Hormuz has become one of the most strategically important waterways on Earth. But how did this narrow passage gain such global importance? To understand that, we must explore its geography, its history, and the powerful role it plays in the modern world. The Strait of Hormuz is not a large body of water. In fact, at its narrowest point, it is only about 33 kilometers wide. Despite this small size, it serves as the main maritime gateway for ships leaving the Persian Gulf. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, and the United Arab Emirates rely heavily on this route to export oil and gas to international markets. Tankers moving through this strait carefully follow designated shipping lanes to avoid collisions in the busy waters. Because so much global energy passes through such a narrow corridor, even minor disruptions here can have ripple effects across global markets and international trade systems. Long before the modern oil industry existed, the waters around the Strait of Hormuz were already important for global trade. For thousands of years, merchants sailing between India, Persia, and the Arabian Peninsula traveled through these waters. Ancient ships carried spices, silk, precious stones, and textiles across the Indian Ocean. The strait became an important connection point linking Eastern civilizations with Western markets. Because of this position, it attracted traders, explorers, and powerful empires who wanted to control these valuable sea routes. Even in ancient times, the Strait of Hormuz was recognized as a gateway between different regions of the world. During the early 1500s, European explorers began expanding their control over global sea routes. In 1507, the Portuguese Empire arrived in the region and quickly recognized the strategic value of the Strait of Hormuz. They captured the island of Hormuz and built powerful fortifications to dominate trade passing through the strait. For more than a century, Portuguese naval forces controlled the flow of goods between the Persian Gulf and the Indian Ocean. Their control allowed them to influence trade routes and collect taxes from merchants traveling through these waters. Portuguese control over the Strait of Hormuz did not last forever. In the early 17th century, Persian forces working together with regional allies launched campaigns to remove Portuguese influence from the region. Eventually, the island of Hormuz was captured and foreign control ended. After this shift in power, regional authorities regained influence over the important trade routes passing through the strait. Although the colonial era ended, the importance of this narrow waterway remained unchanged. The true global importance of the Strait of Hormuz became clear during the 20th century. Massive oil reserves were discovered across the Middle East, especially around the Persian Gulf. As the world's demand for energy increased, oil exports from this region became essential for powering modern industries and transportation systems. Oil tankers began traveling through the Strait of Hormuz in large numbers, delivering fuel to Europe, Asia, and North America. This era transformed the strait into the world's most vital energy corridor, a position it holds to this day. Today, the Strait of Hormuz functions like a highway for global energy supplies. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil consumption passes through this narrow waterway. Every day, dozens of enormous tankers transport millions of barrels of crude oil through the strait. These shipments supply energy to some of the world's largest economies. Because so much global energy depends on this route, the stability of the Strait of Hormuz is extremely important for the global economy. Because of its importance for global trade, the Strait of Hormuz has also become strategically important for military forces. Several nations maintain naval presence in the surrounding waters to ensure that shipping routes remain open and secure. Warships often patrol the region to monitor activity and protect commercial vessels. The narrow geography of the strait means that controlling this location could influence global energy supply. Economists and world leaders closely monitor events around the Strait of Hormuz. Even the possibility of disruption can cause oil prices to rise rapidly in global markets. Because modern economies depend heavily on energy supplies, Stability in this region is essential. Shipping companies, governments, and energy producers all understand that the safe passage of ships through this strait is critical for maintaining global economic balance. The Strait of Hormuz may appear small when viewed on a world map, but its influence stretches across the entire planet. From ancient merchants sailing wooden ships to modern supertankers carrying millions of barrels of oil, this narrow waterway has played a crucial role in global history. It connects regions, supports economies, and shapes international politics. As long as the world relies on energy and global trade, the Strait of Hormuz will remain one of the most important and closely watched waterways on Earth.